Hello and welcome to ZeldaSpeedRuns. It's a bit early in the morning for me, but that doesn't stop me from restreaming some Z2R tournament action. It is Swiss round number 1, it is Paratroopa versus cstutor, and your commentator for today is Mirai. And if he'll be back soon, probably has a few internet issues, Chatbird might be joining as well. There they are. Awesome! Just in time. I'll hand it over to your commentators, and then I'll go kick off your runners. Have fun, guys and gals, and everyone else.
Yes, thank you, Tobias. Welcome back in, Chadbert. We've got a great race tonight between these two runners, Para and Tutor. We're in Swiss rounds week 1. We've been saying this a lot, that we've got some good races. We had a good race earlier tonight, and I think we're going to have another good race here tonight. I think we've got potential even matchup. How are we doing, Chadbert?
I'm doing okay now that I've restarted the internet router.
Fantastic. So Para is a veteran of Z2R. I don't know how to put this. Para really only kind of hangs out in the community for tournaments, doesn't do a lot outside of tournaments. Whenever it's off season, Para's kind of absent. Tutor, on the other hand, somewhat new to the randomizer, been here about a year. A huge Z3R runner. If you actually go over to his stream, you'll see he's got he's got the link to the past randomizer background behind the Z2R screen that you're watching on the stream. But he's a huge Z3R runner, very good at that, and has begun dabbling in Z2R and has been grinding this game out like crazy. So I think both of them, again, with possibly Para derusting here and Tutor increasing his levels in terms of experience and play in this game, this should be a pretty good matchup.
Yep, and I say we've started with an islands biome on the west here.
And an immediate red Dyra to greet us in Heart Container Cave.
And both runner of our runners are taking a death on that red Dyra there.
Yeah, this doesn't seem like it's necessarily required. I think there was something further south from here, but this red Dyra attack one is going to be terrible. But Para gets the lock. Can she keep it? Oh!
Both of them got the same lock there.
Oh, nice. I was totally focused in on Terra there. Nice, Tutor, and both of them getting through. So in case this is the boots on our islands biome, neither one of them are going to miss out on it. Hopefully it's just a blue jar. Oh, okay.
Good to have early before you find the town.
It's very true. And I'm kind of glad it's not the boots, because I'd like to see them navigate islands for a little while.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting here like as a runner. I'm terrible at 2 biomes, islands and the mountain biomes. But the islands is not so bad when you have boots. For that very reason.
Yeah. But even when you get boots, like early on, it can be that when you're walking around for free all over the water, you just get lost in that ocean of blue, and it's really easy to kind of just lose your points, your navigation points throughout the biome, and you end up kind of walking around and sometimes having to refine things because it was free from the beginning, and you never got good bearing on where anything was at.
That is true. That has definitely happened to me in a race or two. But then again, I'm a bit like Star. I tend to get easily lost in these things. So. Alright, our runners seem to be both venturing the same way here. They found a first palace, which is 3 or 6.
Yeah, and a boulder-blocked cave. Not sure if we got more islands to the north of us. If we do, it could be a pass-through. If not, then that might be a boulder-blocked item cave, possibly a connector.
I don't think Para went into the palace to see what it was.
Oh, here we are.
Okay.
No, it happens. It's like you walk by it, you're just doing something, you're like, wait, I didn't check that palace. I got to go back.
Yep. And neither of them pulled the Slamu maneuver here for Z2, which is to grind on the red iron knuckles there.
That's true. That's true. We did not get a check as to how much those guys are worth. Could be 150 to 200 max in this flag set. And that would be a great place to just grind, as we see Reverse Fairy Cave, which is going to have the same enemy set as Heart Container Cave. Now, here's the funny thing. Did we see a town before that palace? I don't think we did.
No, there was a boulder-blocked cave.
Okay, so here's what could happen. Because Heart Container Cave and Fairy Cave have the same, like this is technically the second screen in Fairy Cave, right? So we're in the back of it. And Heart Container Cave, they both share the exact same layout of this cave and enemy set. So what could have happened is if you killed the enemies in Heart Container Cave and you didn't step into that palace to reset the overworld, there would be no enemies in that cave and they'd be able to walk through for free. It's the 3-6 palace here that reset those caves, and now the Daira is back and they're going to have problems getting through there.
All right, so cstutor has gone back and is now doing the slamming maneuver here. Meanwhile, Parax had tried to dive the palace just briefly, and I think there was an immediate door.
Yeah, this 150, again, the 150 to 200 is probably worth a little bit of a grind, especially life levels are pretty easy to come by. You can get probably life 4 for 600 or less, and at maybe like 750 or less. And then you'll be, at a very minimum 2 point something times beefier than you are at life 1.
Yeah, I like to go when they're 150 or 200. I feel this is a great thing to take up to 313 or 323 or 324.
Yeah, and especially with this punishing start, at least they do have some sort of option to just kind of grind here on a guaranteed 150 every time. You could check overworld encounters. You could check to see what P bags are dropping from the drop pools, but sometimes that's just not going to be great either. Wow.
Oh, red die around the bottom too.
Bet they're loving this.
Yep. I always have trouble with I don't have trouble with the red dairies in general, but I do have troubles when they're mixed with Grias.
Yeah, we saw that. That's funny. We just talked about it in the previous race as well when we saw it in the very first Medicine Cave in the previous race. Not really any spoiler. You see it within the first 30 seconds of the game. And the fact that it's like the Daira's right in your face, blocking you from getting to the guy, throwing stuff at you from behind. It's a perfect combo to just really infuriate you.
Era does manage to get the key before she dies, so she's probably going to go back into that P3 or 6 and see if she can go further and grind into the palace, is my guess.
Yeah, it's possible that she finds a dripper in there somewhere, and then the drippers could be worth big money. Or we're looking at graveyard encounters here on Parasite. I like this. I like graveyard encounters. A lot of small enemies in here to cycle through the small enemy drop pool to see if we've got any bags in here that are worth, could be worth up to 500 in this flag set, but could be as low as 50 across the board.
However, she did that on her last life and sadly took a game over. Meanwhile, cstutor looks like he's going to go all the way to 313 at the very least. Or no, he's going to go attack 4.
Wow. Yeah, you really don't get a good gauge as to how powerful, how effective or ineffective the attack level or any level tends to be. I guess you get feedback on magic cost, but when it comes to life and attack, you really just don't get that feel for it watching the game. And so the players, they're going to be the ones who are going to be able to gauge that the best. Looks like attack 4 is bringing those Iron Knuckles down to 3 hits, I think that was. I guess
like 3 or 4, yeah.
Yeah, as you say, I guess the more attack you have, the faster it is to kill the Iron Knuckles, the faster you get experience. So perhaps this is the best way to do things, but he's going to step out at this point.
Yep, 4-2-3 is fantastic at sub 7 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they both have choice words for whatever's happening here in this particular start. And to think if they game over again without getting downstab or anything, that this is the route that they're going to have to take if they don't have the boots or they don't have downstab and whatnot.
I don't think there was another path to the south.
Yeah, I don't think so either. This is where, so this looks tricky and this looks really unforgiving. And this, man, I hate to keep... I'm not like a randomizer apologist or anything like that, but these situations can be gotten through. Yeah, this enemy sucks to be in this spot, but 1, we do have the candle on, we can at least see what it's doing, and 2, really, if you were practicing neutral jumps will allow you to close the gap between you and that Daira and get in its face and knock it backwards to where you've got a little bit more room to maneuver.
And the good news is they do have this good grind right here that if they continue to struggle here, they can just take it up to what they need.
Yes. And I guess it's a reset point as well, because we just saw Tutor step out and just go up and A at the palace, and he's going to give it another attempt here. We saw 2 rooms into that P3/6. We also saw a fairy block there, hard fairy block, big old lava pit. Tutor gets it, so here we go.
Well, you got through the first red die, but what about second red die?
Oh, that's right. The drop here. That's right. That's right. Yeah, Para has seen this. That's right. Oh man, I can hear both of them now. I'm hearing them in my head.
Oh, you
I
got
know
it.
what they're saying.
Get the credit.
Yeah, that's the punishment of this game is you got to wait for that experience to tick up, or else the enemy is back. Oh my God, he's gonna go back for he's going back for attack 4. He's going back for life 4 at this point.
No, you can't. He's fallen. Oh wait, yeah, he can because he.
Oh, he's gonna try. Well, he got rid of the Guerrilla or something. No, what did he get rid
No,
of?
he didn't get the credit. He didn't roll the numbers off. Okay.
Here we go.
Through. We're gonna finally get to see what's on the other side.
Sub 10-minute hype here to the other side of, and a fairy there in case you need it.
And also a palace for resetting. So that's nice. And it's GP.
Red die is also the overworld encounters. Too bad they're only worth 70.
It does not feel great.
Yeah,
We
especially
now have Pillar P-Bag Cave here.
yeah. Those red divers could be what one? There could be 200 in this flag set.
It looks like that's what Para may be trying to grind on, which
Yeah, I got a
It's not
sliver of health. Nerve-wracking, but gets it. I was totally focused on Para. I did not see what was in Pillar P-Bag Cave. Another key.
same here.
Deferring to the tracker on this one. Heart container.
Heart-
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Z-Man. Here we have the grass tile, which is going to have boots.
Tutor's off to the races now.
Yep. The best thing we can hope for is that Para is able to get through the cave in the next 5 minutes and is able to get to parity there.
Yeah, there could be, this is going to blow the Western continent wide open, but until we see everything else, until we see more progression, there's probably still plenty of chance for Para to close the gap somewhere, but definitely needs to get through that cave sooner than later.
Raft is going to be in P1 today.
Yeah, we really haven't seen anything yet on this Western biome. Hard to say where we're supposed to be. I guess with the boots, it's all open, so we'll see most of it here very shortly.
That is correct, Animus. cstutor has in fact earned those boots.
Yeah. Got some spell here in Raru. That's honestly, if you can get spell castable, going back to those red diaries, just a quick cast a spell, turn them into something else. Unless they turn into red diaries as well, which is possible because we're randomizing the spell enemy.
That would be kind of hilarious.
Did you want to get rid of the nightmare fuel? Because we could double up on this.
There was a seed I did recently where they turned into the MOAs, the invisible MOAs.
Oh man, yeah.
So you try to spell the invisible MOAs and you get more invisible MOAs.
Tutor getting reflect. Didn't see where he walked into. Is this Rudo or is this Saria? I want to say it's Rudo. Yeah, it's Rudo. Okay.
Alright, so that early trophy is required, unless fire is also linked to reflect. Alright, here's Para's trying to get through this awful cave.
Yeah, and unfortunately, those boomerangs, whether they go high or low, is all just random. And so if you get unlucky with a bunch of boomerangs that just happen to be firing at the time you're trying to make the jump into the Daira, it's, it's SOL at that point. Oh, don't want to leave the money behind. Total distraction.
Does she still have lives? Okay, good. She has lives. She got rid of 2 of those and got credit for them. Oh,
Man,
but the one that she didn't get was... There we go.
Yeah, and we know the boots are very close by, that she won't be too, well, hopefully not. There's a cave here, I think, that they can access right to the east. We're going to go west first, though.
Meanwhile, cstutor has picked up fire, and don't know yet what it's linked to. This is picked up out of Sar, and this is the spell in Saria.
All right, so we're still looking for Mito. We don't have any way to get down stabbed, so it looks like we're going to have to head east at a minimum before we do that. Is Para find something there? Was that a Death Mountain connection?
I was looking at cstutor's side, who's
Okay.
Medicine Cave.
Yeah, looked kind of Death Mountain-y, I think. There was a little bit of desert. It could have been another Islands East, for all I know. It was a very quick check. But that was right where you came out. So Tudor, I guess he up and aid, right? And he's been going off in a different direction, whereas Para has kind of hung out in the same area, although she's hitting Raru now as well.
I don't think cstutor up and 8. I think he's just been walking all over the place.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I guess with boots you could really just walk any direction you want, so. And for anyone who's watching this who's maybe used to vanilla, where the boots only allow you to walk on certain water tiles, it is a flag in the randomizer that allows boots to be able to walk on all water tiles, which is generally how we play in the randomizer. But sometimes we do restrict the boots, also known as like nerfed boots, to where only certain water tiles are walkable with them, but not in any of the flag sets in this tournament.
And again, I just missed that entrance.
Oh yeah, so did I again. All right, so we had, I was going to say third palace, we had GP, 3/6, and then whatever this is going to be.
Was this start?
Or it could be start. You might be right on that. Start, yeah.
Palace, yeah.
Good call.
There it is.
Swamp Palace.
P5.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure both of these runners will be holding off on that. I think after
Shield.
Yeah. We got Trophy Cave, and then I guess we have Magic Container Cave still out there somewhere.
Oh, the glove here and Trophy Cave. Speaking of.
Quite a trophy to find here. 16 minutes in. At least there won't be any crazy digging for that. It's a relief that you find that.
Yep, so we might need the raft, we might need hammer, we might need flute. And then there's a question of which spells are on the spell items.
Yeah. Because Fairy, Thunder, well, really there can only be one spell item in the east, but there can be the other blocks, as you just pointed out. So, yeah, I mean, we're just going to have to wait to see what's over there. Or our hammer blocked cave, our boulder blocked cave may be Magic Container Cave.
Yeah.
There's that cave right there. We must have checked that. It was right.
Yeah, that was Killer Bee Bag.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure cstutor is at least looking for... Oh,
wow.
It's thunder. Fire, thunder.
Well, Para just picked it up, so I'm sure Para will be testing that as well soon enough. That does look like Death Mountain.
Yep.
Yeah, Para just did the fire check. That's why her beams were going all the way across the screen. So I don't know if she was able to... Oh, okay. I'm not 100% sure if she killed anything with it. I assume she did, so I assume that both runners now know Fire Thunder. Okay.
And cstutor found Hammer Cave and noped right out. Pretty sure he's just looking for connectors at this point. Continental connectors.
Yeah, it's. I would imagine that both runners feel like they're behind because of that start when they were both kind of banging their heads against the wall on those red Dairas.
I would.
Oh, he got a fire cast, but I guess he cast it just a little too early before the Daira was on screen. Man, I hate that four-way cave. There's a four-way cave network that is busted, and it doesn't. Wow,
Oh, well, we found the connectors.
that's wild. I think I've only seen that a handful of times where the raft and the bridge are just right next to each other.
Is it possible to have it on, like, where the land is shaped in such a way that you could have the raft and the bridge look the same, like the same set?
I mean, I want to say I don't believe so, but I guess if you had, because they can't be on the same coast, right? But you could, like, I mean, I guess it is theoretically possible that the Maze Island Bridge, like, you know, could be like facing north along an island, and at the bottom of that island is where the raft tile is. So it looks like just a bridge, right? So that would be pretty wild if that were the case. I've never seen that before. I'm not sure if they can overlap like that, but that would be quite the troll.
Okay, we were able to get into Granny's basement with just the 5 magic containers. I did miss what it was. We're gonna see what's in Spell Tower. It was cross, okay, and a vanilla key.
Yeah, this is pretty big for Tudor. I think we're going to start seeing some palace dives real fast here, although he's probably going to want to get a read on where Fairy is. I was going to say the style of both of our runners, I think, is going to be simply to clear the overworld. And we know Para, unless Para has changed the way that they approach these seeds, for years now, Para has always just been an overworld clearer. It really is. We talk about this often, that it really is the safest way to go about playing the game, but not always the fastest. And so Para likes to just clear the overworld and know that they're done with it when they're done with it. And Tudor, I think, is going to do a similar thing as we've been seeing so far. And but he's about to have Fairy here shortly, unless we're behind a hammer or flute block. And then he'll be off to the races at that point.
Yeah, I find that overworld clearing is very good if the glove is on the overworld.
Yeah.
And there are glove blocks in the palaces.
Yes. Which is, I mean, it's always nerve-wracking. We did just have, I mean, there's been some races this week where we've had glove blocks and palaces pushing people out, and then they've had to double dip, and all of that is just it just costs time to do that.
Nope, never, Animus. Never happens, ever.
Tudor seeing Riz and Peabag Cave there, opting not to go inside, probably thinking, don't necessarily want anything right now. He probably could use it. He probably wants another heart. Oh, okay. Well, no, we're not. That's not really a block because we've got to pass through cave heading south there.
River Devil almost doing his job.
He's trying.
He's at least being an inconvenience.
Yes. Yeah, we didn't point out this is going to be a mountainous biome here on our eastern continent, which means probably not a lot of water to walk across. Could have some lakes that block some areas. We also came in off of the bridge connection, and they looked like we possibly could have gone west from there as well. Tudor just came south from there, so possibly we can go west along the water, about along the edge of the map. So we'll see if that's a possibility. We'll see if Para notices that, because Para is going to be finding... Oh, no, Para's still on the west here. Okay. Para's got to find that DM connector again.
And what do we have here? We have shield. So that means I think that Fairy or Jump... Fairy and Jump are both item blocked.
Old Kusuto? We didn't get a read on Old Kusuto yet? Or is one of those Mito? I'm sorry.
No, it was in New Kasuto. I didn't see his tutor go in and get it. Oh yeah, he did get it. Okay. Alright, never mind. No. Whatever. Yep, as he has it in his spell list there. All right.
Yeah, and another thing about both of our runners, I think we're going to see prioritization of down stab before any palace digs. So whatever Tudor's doing here in the east, he's going to get to a point where he's happy with his progression, and then again having he at least probably wants a read on if it's child fairy or not. And once he gets that read, he will likely be off back off to the west to get down stab. Well, P1 is easy. I guess you could do a P1 dig right here while you're here.
Yeah, the only thing you want down stab for are really the blue iron knuckles, so.
Yeah. Plus, we know, what is it? It's raft in P1, so might be worthwhile to get this now because we know where the raft tile's at. It's right next to the bridge in DM. And that could be maze.
Yep, we haven't found maze yet.
All right, here we go. Para into DM. Gotta go. Well, if Para sees Hammer Cave, might dig it. Oh, okay.
Oh. That's a big find for Para. That could help her catch up.
Yes, but the key is on the east, and so is Fairy. So unless it's a child, and we have a child block Fairy spell that she kind of gets ahead and doesn't have to necessarily double dip into Darunia, that could be beneficial. But otherwise, this might, or if we have an expensive Fairy cast. We got the key though. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Yeah, and we know this isn't going to be one. So, and she doesn't even have Palace Logic at the moment. So, I think we're just going to look around for the items and check the palace, and then we'll be out of here. But honestly, that raft could just take us back to the east, right? That raft might be a dud. And so it might just be the cave here. If we don't see a raft tile, did we see the northern side yet on Parasite? We're going to have to check for the borders. If we don't see a raft tile, then we know this cave is required, and Tudor might be looking around for it for a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think we did. I don't think she's gone all the way to the top. Especially not the top right of the maze.
Okay,
it's
northwest.
Top or left.
Yeah. We did get the item. We got the raft out of P1. We're now on Horsehead on Tudor's side as we stare intently at the border of this maze island. Oh, it's there! Unless it's like a bridge to nowhere, which I doubt it.
It does have the child though, so fairies at Darunia and not Mito. That will still be big for Para.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, well, Tudor is going to have easy access to maze. Not as big of a play as we thought for a Para here.
Okay. The second item has been found. Just a magic container, which is not a bad consolation prize. Wait, where was the glove at? Was it that on the west? Trophy cave?
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I was pressing the wrong key there. What? I'm sorry?
Yes, Paratroopa doesn't have the glove yet, so she's not been to Trophy Cave.
I thought Para did have the glove. We'll have to watch the menu. Okay, that was too fast.
The Scorpions, whatever those are called, are 300 experience points.
Okay, we got 2 menu opens. I missed it both times. Okay, it was the glowfish. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought I saw a trophy cave dig. I thought Para usually has a tracker up, but not on her stream. We can't see. We can see Tudor's personal tracker, but not Para's. Yeah, and now if Paris sees, well, there's a forest tile there on Tudor's side.
You don't need that. Good. Just to realize before going all the way to get the spell. And if we find P4, another one that I find fairly easy to do early.
Yeah, I'll say I thought Tudor was going to be doing a little bit more overworld clearing and going back for a safety downstab, but he's going in on these palaces. Props to him, and it could be because this is a mountainous east, and he may not want to just comb back over this continent because it's kind of rough to walk around on. So clear these now while you can, at least give him an attempt. There's really nothing stopping him with the key. Just not, a fairy block would stop him, I guess. And we did see a fairy block in that 3/6 on the west, so knowing it is going to be required for at least one palace.
And it looks like the bottom of the elevator just looped in on itself. So
Classic. Yeah, we never got a look at Mito, did we? I mean, we may have, but I don't think so. I think dare I say that if either one of our runners saw medicine for fairy, for medicine for fairy, that we probably would have seen one of them go in for a hint for where the medicine's at. So I'm going to say that we didn't see what was in Mito just yet.
I don't think we found Mito.
Yeah, I think it's Mito, and Darunia is still outstanding. I mean, it's entirely possible without downstab that Tudor gets a little beat up in here with his low life levels, and I've watched him play a little bit. Again, Para's the same way as well. I would say that we're going to be prioritizing attack levels over other levels, and you see this from a handful of runners. It's just a particular leveling strategy, and one that works, but one that does keep you kind of like a glass cannon after a while. And so if you're taking a lot of damage, if you can't avoid things all that easily, and you're taking damage, you're taking a lot of it because those lower life levels can really hurt, especially in palaces.
Case in point.
Yeah, but even with the fire cast, he had it, and he's like, oh damn, too late. It's a quick little trolley moa right there.
All moas are trolley. But attack 5 is very good. It's able to take down these red iron knuckles with just 2 hits.
Yeah, that is very nice.
I actually would be very tempted to actually go down and get that extra life down.
Oh, he doesn't have up or down stab in that room. There's technically a trick to get through the top side. If you know...
Jump.
Yeah, you could use jump as well. You're right. That's not even a trick. That's just logic for getting through there.
All right, a bit of recap on this seed. We have an islands west biome that had a pretty much one-way ticket through a bunch of red dairas. That was a very rough start, but there was a P3 or 6 with the red iron knuckles that you could grind on for 150 experience to get around it. And that's been the only trolley thing, because once you got past the multiple red dairas there, you were able to get boots and just be off to the races. And that's been the big difference is CS2 did the grind on those red iron knuckles at the start and got up to attack 4 really quickly, whereas Para did a grind on overworld encounters.
Yeah, Tudor with the better grind there. If those iron knuckles were 50 or 70, that would have been terrible. But at 150 was a really good grind. And was getting really lucky on the iron knuckle spawning, right? It could have been just like Red Jar City, but he was getting really lucky on that 50-50. A lot of red iron knuckles really sped up the grind there for him. Yeah, see, this is where a Fire Thunder's nice. Okay, he does get over it. All right. I was just about to say, but it's not enough to kill the blue iron knuckles. Oh no, this is going to be bad.
Yep, you want those to be in sync.
Yes. And you can do that by backing out. Uh-oh, is he on his last life? He needs to cast Reflect. I don't know. I didn't see. I guess we'll see it here in a moment. He must have more than. He must have 1 life in reserve. Okay. So anyway, backing up to the previous room there with I call that the double MOA bridge, double MOA crumble bridge. And yeah, you're absolutely right. You want those MOAs stacked up on top of each other. And more often than not, they are, but sometimes they're separated like we saw in Tudor's pass through in the room. If you want to get them stacked, you have to step out of the room, just kind of mess with the RNG timing a little bit, and then come back into the room and keep trying that until they get stacked. Otherwise, they're going to be separated, and it's much more difficult to get through that room left to right when they're separated.
I will slightly disagree with you, Jay Cooper, on that. That bridge is great when you're coming in from the left side and going right, and they're synced up. Every other situation, it is terrible.
Everybody hates on. I love that room. It's a good room. It requires a little bit of stopping and skillfulness to get around those MOAs.
Yeah, you have to basically, when you're coming from the right, you have to stop and face the other direction to get them to go that way so you can get up on the bridge and then you're fine.
100%. No, not a useful River Devil, just an inconvenient one. It's there's a pass through heading south over there. Well, it looks like Darunia is going to be right here for Tudor, so we don't have Darunia blocked by anything. But it is going to be a child-blocked fairy spell. He's going to get up stab in the process. He knows that fairy's here. He's got every other spell. He's seen every other child. Or maybe,
no, we haven't seen Mito.
We haven't seen Mito. So what could this be? Fairy or shield? Did we see shield? Life. Okay,
Life.
that's, yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. I feel like maybe someone would have stepped into Mito. I feel like maybe we saw a Mito check that we didn't see. They saw a Mito check that we didn't see because we were looking somewhere else. But maybe we're wrong. Maybe we're all crazy and Tudor's just gambling that this is... Oh, he's leaving. Maybe it is Fairy Mito. And...
I didn't see Tudor read the sign.
Yeah. Oh! Okay. Here we go. Well, he's spending a little bit more time hanging out in Darunia here.
And this is a bit of unfortunate news for CS2 because we already know that the child is on the Maze Island.
Yeah, and go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say that it looks like Darunia is kind of buried on the east, so he's going to have to walk all the way back here. Kind of looks like a J shape or something, right? To where you come down south, you got to head west, then you got to come back up north in this somewhat secluded mountainous biome. If that's the case, if there's not another way to get up and around where he's about to show us now, then he's going to have to walk all the way back here with the child at some point in the future, which it looks like that might be the case, unless this pass-through takes us somewhere useful to maybe the coast. Had alluded to being able to walk to the west as you walked into the eastern continent. Might be a thing still, so I don't know.
And we do see that the two runners are actually employing two different leveling strategies now, and I think Para's probably doing this strategy to level up magic and life a little bit more because of the fire. The thunder.
I fully agree on that. Like I said, Para's normally an attack leveler, but that fire thunder is very tasty, and you definitely want to get... Okay, there it is. Tudor shows us the pass through is simply a dead end. He is going to have to walk all the way back to Darunia, but he has done the palaces along the way. He's done 1 and 4. We haven't touched Death Valley. He's still going to have to come back here for Death Valley, and he's still going to have to come all the way back to Darunia's location to turn in the child, but he's also got to find... he's also got to make his way to the maze, but he'll be able to finish the maze palace on top of that, whereas Para was unable to because she didn't have any logic into palaces at that point in time. So jury's out on what's happening here at the moment in terms of who's kind of in a leader. I like this though.
Para has up 8 and is now back on the west, probably looking for Mito.
Yeah, Para has key and cross out of New Custodios, so she is totally equipped for palaces. That's not looking for Mito.
Oh, thank you, Jaylu. Apparently, she did find it and has acquired downstep.
Oh wow, I totally missed that.
and has been then therefore been looking for the east and has now found it.
Okay, so here's west from where we walk in. I don't think there's going to be anything over here because we've seen all 4 towns and 2 palaces outside of Death Alley. Okay, but there's a lesson. There's a lesson, folks, that if you're new to the randomizer, you've never seen that before. If you have a break in a mountainous biome like this, you can sometimes walk around the edges there on the water if you've got the boots.
It looks like CS Tutor has gone back and is going to actually go and clear Death Valley.
He is is he low on lives or did he up A at like 4 or something? Because he did take some deaths. Oh, okay, he must have up A there. Okay. I was going to say, we saw him take some deaths on a Red Lizolfo, I think, in one of that pass-through cave by Darunia. But he must have just reset at a palace nearby. Yeah, the only time a fairy cast cost is going to come into play here for the most part. I think we only get 1 fairy cast per life at the moment. It's okay, though. Candle and Cross making these encounters pretty simple if we just want to do encounter skips. Para finding a dead end over there. I guess Tutor took this. Is this a pass-through? This is a pass-through. It looks like a double Darunia encounter just north of us. Okay, that's P4 down there that Para can see on her side. So I think the pass-through would be the safer option, but then again, you got Fire Thunder, so it probably doesn't matter too much.
But the Bagu Bagus are only 2 experience points each.
Ouch. Yeah, the one, I call it the double Darunia encounter because it's the 2 desert encounters up by Darunia and Vanilla, and one of them is worse than the other. We saw the previous one that had the generators and the Bago Bagos flying through it, which could be any generator enemy that can appear on the east, and it can be a little difficult to get through there at times, but yeah, again, Fire Thunder really just making that quick work of anything that was able to, that was in her way.
Paratroopa has gone on autopilot and has picked up Thunder Spell.
Takes the death, unfortunately, there too. So probably the words like, what the hell am I doing? Exit out of there.
I missed what palace this was that...
So did I. What are we missing, though? We're missing 2 at this point, so...
3-6.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah.
Okay. 3-6, okay. So I'm going to wait for Windows to see which, or the boss to see if it's 3 or 6.
Yeah, Para in Darunia now has the child, been carrying it all this time, going to be able to turn this in for Fairy. Get to see the water tile. I don't remember what was on the water tile. Tutor saw it. I don't know if anything was on the water tile.
I think it was just the P-bag.
Probably. Just based on his resources. I'll be honest, though. I mean, Para's looking pretty good with 6 hearts, 6 containers, whereas Tutor's at 5 hearts, 5 containers. Oh, I mean, they're both containers, but 5 magic, 5 hearts, 5 magic containers. So a little lower on the resources there. Not 100% sure if that's going to come into play. Para with the better magic level right now might have a cheaper Fire Thunder currently. Maybe she gets 2 casts of it, whereas Tutor only gets 1. I mean, this is all going to come down, and it's going to be a lot more easy to cast these things in a very short period of time, but maybe there's a small edge that Para's got currently.
Para's got that as well as downstab.
That's true. Tutor has not gone back as he finds Barba.
A very quick Barba.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to look for the item here. Then again, it's all the way in Death Valley, so if you do want to check around for a little bit to see if there's a heart or a magic container, I don't know. Maybe that's the play, because as far as Tutor's concerned, he has seen all the overworld stuff now, other than what's on Maze Island.
Apparently, his Tutor may be on his last life, so I have to be very careful here. Although, it would be a time lost if he falls in lava, but it wasn't too far in, so. Yeah, I agree, Animus. That the magic containers and heart containers aren't as necessary in this one.
Hey, you can be pretty greedy and say you want all the magic containers so you could just cast Fire Thunder endlessly through all these rooms.
It does help, but you have to take up all the time to find them, so.
This is true. Yeah, and even if Tudor feels like he's in turbo mode right now, we might not even see an attempt to find anything on Maze Island. He might just hit the palace and go.
And by the way, Animus has been helping us in the chat, and I want to give a shout out for Animus for doing the tracking today.
Yeah, absolutely. He jumped in last minute here. Otherwise, we would have been fumbling, trying to do commentary and click buttons and been like, wait, I missed this. Wait, did you see that? Oh, sorry.
No, I was putting in the bot command, sorry.
No, you're all good. I forgot that you do have to dig at least something out of Maze Island because it is going to be the child for Tudor. Yeah, and you can't even gamble on that. Again, we saw they both... Wait. Para saw the fairy block in that Palace 3, now that we know it as 3. Mm-hmm. But I don't think Tudor went any further in, so he doesn't know that's there. I wonder if he might gamble on fairy because the likelihood of a fairy block is pretty low. And Daruni is all the way on the other side of the east, and he's already done with the east at this point. He's going to the maze. He might just grab the child and then not turn it in right away.
That would make sense.
That's a thing.
Oh, he misses the second item there.
Yeah, they're both right there in kind of middle, upper middle, and then upper right.
So this is P2 here in Maze Island, so it looks like he's going to go finish that first. Meanwhile, Para's in P4.
Yeah, I don't remember how trolly this was. We're looking for that. We're looking to see that double Moa crumble bridge room, and then that's right down into Karak whenever we see that. I actually think it's just right here because that's when Tudor was...
Oh, I hate when that happens.
So, for anyone not familiar, what happens is that when you cast Thunder, it acts like an attack on the enemy. And when you attack an enemy, you lose your momentum. And what happens here is that the Thunder cast that Para did was over lava. Now, the Thunder was enough to kill the Doom Knocker, but it's not enough to kill the Blue Iron Knuckle. So at that point, again, acting like an attack, you simply are stopped in your tracks, and if you're in a jump, you just drop like a rock, and Para happened to be over a pit of lava. So right into the lava she went. It's the same thing like if you get a drop from a 1-up. If you're like, you kill an enemy, and you're about to walk forward and jump like a lava gap or something, and all of a sudden it's actually a 1-up that comes from the drop pool, you hit that 1-up, you lose all of your momentum, and then you walk right into the lava. And can you explain what just happened with Para there? Why did we up an A in the room right before Karak?
I don't know.
I don't know what Para identified in that room, but we saw it for 2 seconds, then she up an A and was out of there. Oh, was she on her last life? I guess that's possible? I thought she's been blowing everything up. Oh, okay. Well, I guess if you're getting greedy with Fire Thunder in a palace where you are required to be able to cast Reflect, and might not be feeling comfortable with that room without Fairy.
Yep, you can get a bit addicted to the Fire Thunder just like you can with Dash, and have to continuously find ways to get magic.
Yeah, that's so true. Resource management is, there's so many small things in this game that as people learn it and you just have to experience these. You have to experience having Fire Thunder, and then again, you have to kind of be a little conservative at some point, and understand that, well, if I need to cast Reflect in P4, I'm going to need some magic. And, if I need to cast Fairy to get through some places, I'm going to need to save some of this magic. Honestly, she could have just kept going. And then, she doesn't know that Karak's in the next room, but, yeah. All right, is this their child or is this okay? This is a magic container for Tutor, so he's going to get at least that bump up and match Para there in the 6.
And he did already find the child, so
Okay. It did not hit up Mito yet, though.
Para's doing this from the left side of the screen.
I'm not 100% sure what Tutor... Oh, he's walking it back. Okay.
Perry is able to get a double level here with magic and then attack.
Oh, that's very nice. Yeah, 5, 6, 6. That's those are nice healthy levels. Again, Tutor with very high attack, going to be making a lot of the fights pretty easy. However, you could make the argument that Fire Thunder is already going to do that, and so the high attack level is not really going to be as necessary. You know, had he just pumped a bunch of magic levels up to have many more casts of Fire Thunder, that could have been just as useful. When it comes to something like GP, you know? Just blowing those birds out of the sky as they're trying to jump at you.
Para's going back through the double encounter. Not really bridge. What do you call that? Just pass through?
Yeah, I just call it the double Darunia pass through. Yes, those that do 1 kind of did this in reverse. Again, Para style, clear the overworld, then backtrack, did 4, coming in to do 1. I don't know where Death Valley's at, but it can't be too far from where we're at here on the east, and she'll probably be into there after this.
Yeah, she's gonna start catching up really quickly on the dungeons here because we know the CS Tutor is gonna have to come back because he's not gonna be able to beat P3 without Fairy.
Yeah, that's very true. Wow, that is gonna set him back a little bit. That's incredible. Like, that's incredible that Para, for whatever reason, had the key tried to push. Okay, so just recapping that, trying to push through that early reverse fairy cave, lots of red Dairas, killed one of them, killed something at the lower half of where you drop in the fairy cave, although again, going in reverse, it's the second screen right to left. Got a key from there, died, backed out of there, went back to P3 as we know it. They didn't know whether it was 3 or 6. For some reason, just attempted to go into the palace, completely out of logic, and saw 2 rooms in there was a fairy block, and that has given her enough information to know that she needs fairy, absolutely needs it to beat that palace. And Tutor does not have that information. And honestly, why would he? You know, you wouldn't just go into a palace like that, and Para did, and it just happened to work out.
Yep. And the good thing for Para is that the block was just 2 rooms in, so
yeah,
any real time loss.
I mean, you play enough seeds and you make plays like that yourself. And it's just like, oh, okay, this is knowledge. And yeah, it's wild that we're seeing that here tonight.
See his Tutor hesitating on the P-back there.
Yeah, he's already set up to take the 85-30 there on the payout on attack 8.
Do you think he'll take the attack 8, or do you think he will, because he's only got 2 gems left to place, if he'll just start leveling the other?
I think let's see here. I think he's going to go full magic. I think he's going to take the payout and go full magic, and then in 3, he's going to, well, again, he's going to have to walk all the way over to Darunia before he can get back to 3, but in 3, when he places that gem, he'll probably dump it. He'll probably divide it maybe 1 more magic level if he has, if he thinks he wants 1 more, and then all life or all life at that point, because I think this Fire Thunder is just too tempting, and I think we're going to see some magic levels get pumped up on his side.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. I think if it was a 500 bag or something, then he would have taken the...
Yeah, it's possible, because
yeah.
being in 5, you kind of expect Guma to give a big payout, even though he can be kind of a stingy SOB. But he usually gives, you know, he can give anywhere between 300 and 1,000 experience in this flag set.
He tends to be not worth the amount of effort.
Oh! Tutor getting caught in the calf by a beam or a knife from the blue iron knuckle there, going up the elevator.
And it's on his last life for Guma here. So.
Oh my. Shielded life 4, probably still over 2 hearts of damage. I bet it's probably a 2-shot, unless that life 4 is doing a ton of work. But that that attack 7 is great, so. Easy.
Perfect fight there against Guma. And we're about to see whether he's going to go ahead and take attack 8 or spread it around.
Para needs to find this Death Valley ASAP here. I mean, Tutor's got a bit of walking to come back to Darunia, but I mean, if we still don't have a read on where Death Valley's at, we got to go all the way through these encounters. We got to hope that, Para has to hope that she finds the dragon as fast as Tutor did. It's definitely not in this direction, as she's already been up here.
Yeah, she did get a glimpse of it, of where it was located, up in the kind of like northern middle half, like in the middle between east and west. So
yeah, this is exactly what Tutor needs, because Para was definitely going to be in the lead, having to not have to walk all the way back to this area of the east to turn in Child for Theory, which Tutor's about to see is required in simply the next room.
And it looks like we got our answer with CS Tutor. He has opted to spread it all and spend it all into magic until you couldn't put any more in there. Took a life as well.
Oh, he's seeing it. He's like, son of a bee. Oh boy.
Yep. So now he's gonna have to make the very long trek back to go grab Fairy.
He's probably
he grabbed the child.
Yeah, he's probably like, this seed was too good to be true. Fire Thunder, free glove, free key. Of course, there's this BS in the way. Yeah, isn't it right up here on Paraside? There it is.
All right. And then Para's gonna have to go back to Maze Island and then get P2 and then do P3 and 5 on the west.
Yeah, not exactly sure how deep Guma was in 5. Seemed like it potentially is a little bit of a dig. We have no read on 3, but 3 is never really a big palace, so.
Yeah. It was a little bit of a dig, but it didn't seem like a gigantic P5, but it depends on the route you take.
Yeah, honestly, at this point, Tutor's going to be in Darunia. If Para can't find this dragon quickly, if she does, they're going to be in 3 at the same time, and then they're going to be in GP at the same time. So this is looking pretty good as long as Para. We put this on Para to route 6 properly, but really, I mean, there's some guesswork involved. So it's not really Para's fault if she doesn't find the dragon as quickly. It was just simply could have been luck on Tutor's side that he found it as quick as he did, or maybe it's just hold right and you just walk into a dragon just that way, just standard hold right.
Well, it seemed like it would take a long time to get back to Darunia, but it wasn't actually that bad once you know the direction.
Yeah. So Tutor is definitely still going to have the lead here. Para spent a lot of time looking for Death Valley. Going to have one extra magic container, though, over Tutor. Not sure if that's going to come into play with Fire Thundercast or a fairy requirement or something later on in GP.
It won't for Thunderbird, but it will for getting to Thunderbird, I'm sure.
Yeah. And to be fair, in most fairy required rooms in GP, there's always that 50-50 jar if you want to keep gambling on breaking that block. Yeah, that was pretty quick. Tutor's going to be back in 3 ASAP here.
And we'll get our first look after beyond the second room.
Para not going to check up at that elevator. Was that a loop? That could have been a loop right there.
I do remember. Oh, just saved it. I think I remember this room for CS tutors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think the dragon's right here, isn't he?
I think so.
So let's say 3 minutes, depending on the time to kill the dragon. Of course, I highly doubt that.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a rebuild, but I highly doubt Para's going to be burning any gems here.
Probably not at 5, 6, 7. Maybe at 6, 6, 7.
Oh, that's right, Para. I'm sorry. Yeah, Para's got to do a lot more, doesn't she?
Yes, she still has to do 5, 2, and 2 as well as 3.
Yeah, my bad.
Be quick.
My bad. Completely forgot about the Western continent. We're obviously done with the East. Yeah, Tudor's got quite the lead then. Never mind. My bad. Commentary over here dropping the ball.
I do agree. That was an excellent Barba fight. Well, the thing is, 2, 3 were both quick. 5 is going to be the big important thing, but CS2 is entering at the 1 hour mark.
Yeah, I feel kind of ridiculous that it's completely glossed over having to do, all the Western palaces and Maze Island here. Yeah, so this is Tudor's race to lose here.
This is a very fast time.
Yeah, even with the backtrack to Darunia, could have been sub-hour had that fairy block not been in 3.
Mm-hmm.
Did we have another option at start, or was it just go down and go left?
It was just go down and left.
Okay.
Unless I missed it.
Well,
early Thunderbird.
Even if we missed it, this is the right path. Yeah, so doing palaces on the way of routing was definitely the way to go here today. Just that one trolley Darunia turn-in required. We'll see if it's required further on in GP as well. There's several fairy rooms that could show up, but I mean, there's still so many rooms that can appear in GP that you can go many seeds, play many seeds without seeing a fairy block.
CS2 has a perfect Thunderbird fight. Doesn't take a hit. You don't need life 7 or 8 if you don't take any hits.
He's just showing off for the tournament. Well, we have an elevator down in this room here. Or if we didn't have a junction before this point, then we're not going to have Darklink this close. But
could still be directly off of an early junction, though.
I guess that you're right about that.
We still haven't found one yet. And the only room that these are they called keys in Zelda 2?
Aches.
Aches, okay. Fortunately, I lost my instruction manuals, so.
Yeah, no. It's an alien language. They're just bats.
So we had a 4-way junction here and a long tunnel down to a 2-way. Or three-way, rather. And that's Simon from Castlevania. Is what Paratroopa is using.
Look at this. Look at this 27 floor shaft here.
It's the Grand Tower.
So we've got an elevator. Well, I believe we have an elevator in the room that Tutor's in. Otherwise, it's a down behind him. It's a down left and right and an up and left through a what from that angle is an up stab block, although it might just loop around at some point to what we'll see as a down stab block, but not yet.
Alright, so we have a paperclip room on the upside, and then just a room to the right here.
This jump is terrible.
Yes, it is.
And I have
their bubbles.
I have no idea why that jump is so hard to make just in one attempt. Because if you don't make it, there's a bubble there, or there could be a king bot that spawns at the top as well, and then you got to deal with that nonsense. Speaking of,
there's a king bot.
yeah, we've got a lot of options. We'll see if any of this loops around. So far, this is new territory. Wherever this elevator takes us is somewhere we haven't seen just yet. Oh,
no.
Tutor! The thing is, we've talked about plenty of times where MOAs hit you so hard in the early game, and if you go east, the MOAs in the east are terrible to deal with. The MOAs in GP tickle you, so he had a sliver of health left to die to that MOA.
Yeah, I think he had just like 1 HP left.
Wow, we got a handful of... We're either going to see Darklink or we're going to see this loop around real soon. Oh. Yeah, I think it's right into itself here. Para going to be grabbing the P bag in P5. Oh, it's not into itself? Okay. Let's go.
It can always be very confusing when rooms just link it to... Oh my goodness.
Easy game. Just hold right.
Well, he's on his last life, so it's...
Maybe we get a few Fire Thunder casts here. Yeah, this is shielded with 3+ containers. That's good to go.
Unless Darklink keeps doing that.
I think Darklink's going to have to do that for about the next 15 minutes or so to get Para in here. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still just thinking to myself, how did I put these two side by side? I feel so bad that the commentary was so inaccurate up to that point where I'm like, oh, Tutor, and they're going to be so close to each other. They're clearly not. And GG to Tutor here as he finishes this one. Official race time of 66 minutes, 38 seconds in the race time there.
Yep, GG's in chat. That is a very fast time.
Yeah, not bad again, and it would probably, I mean, where, if it's hard to say, but that could have been a sub-hour, all things considered, if he would have hit Maze Island, maybe before seeing Darunia, maybe, and then just a quick turn in instead of having to go all the way back, maybe. Like that alone, after seeing the fairy room in 3 and then having to come back to Darunia, I don't think that was 6 minutes. I can't imagine that was 6 minutes worth of time, but I'd say it's probably 3 to 4 minutes of just moving. And
that is still one of the fastest times of the tournament so far. Granted, each seed is different. Yeah. Now, I'm not able to do an invite to CS Tutor, but we should probably get that going.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's gonna. I'm sure he's gonna join us for a interview here. was actually just about to
Just
type
if I
something.
didn't.
Tobias got it. And we're finding Rebanak here on Parasite.
Immediately unhorsed Rebo.
Tudor probably taking a victory lap outside. His neighbor's yelling at him to keep it down.
We're waking up all the neighborhood dogs. Alright, looks like Para's now going probably to Maze Island.
Yeah, so Para got the raft. I wonder if she's just going to look for that same cave that took her there and not really think about the raft connecting, because it was the first way that you see the connection to an area, even if there are multiple connections, you just blank on that. You just shut out that second connection, even though it's technically faster. Just go up to the raft tile, sitting right next to the bridge up there.
Yep. I know this feeling, though. I've definitely done this where you forget which cave is the entrance to in Death Mountain to whatever continent. It's this one, though. And this will be P2, and then Para will be able to go off to GP.
And, as long as you just walk the right way the first time, GP's pretty straightforward, but also looked like you could get lost in there for a solid 10 minutes.
It would be very easy to go a different direction. Especially if you go up on that elevator first, and then you go down, and you see the left and right. You just go right there, and then explore another 20 rooms.
You have to you can maybe metagame it and say, well, Tudor finished in 66 minutes, so that must just be a hold right. I'm just going to hold right. And Tudor will... Yep. Yeah. We're about to say the same thing. Tudor's going to be joining us here. He said a minute or two, like I said, probably a victory lap outside for a moment. It's still warm weather out there in the United States.
Well, not entirely where I am.
Oh.
Well, it's not cold, but...
Already shoveling snow, and it's only September over there by Chadburn.
No, not that much snow. The weather's mild, it just doesn't stay warm.
Gotcha. Yeah, did we have any glove blocks? I saw some rooms that have glove blocks in them, but whether they were required or not, kind of just gloss over that when you've got the glove. It's kind of easy to just consider that, it's just a room at that point, and you don't really even think about whether it's a glove block or not.
There were glove blocks in GP. On the route to to Thunderbird, there were glove blocks. There were waffles. As we'll see in just a couple of minutes on Paratroopa's side. So the glove was required.
Yeah, I didn't time it when Tudor walked in the first time. I totally blanked on that as well, but I mean, might have been. Oh, it was flat hour. I think you pointed it out you said that. You said the hour mark. That's right. Okay. So about 12 minutes later, here's Para. Okay.
Yeah, this room right here.
Yeah, did we see a lot of Fire Thundercast on Tudor's side? I know we saw a few, but I don't think we saw any rooms to really spam it a lot. Sometimes Fairy is the go-to in rooms that are a little bit tougher.
Yeah, I saw him use Fairy once or twice, but not very much Fire Thunder.
And there's Tudor in the waiting room. Welcome in, Tutor. GG on the win tonight. I think we've got a little audio issue here.
Hello?
I hear clicking. Hello?
Hi, sorry, thanks. I forgot to change it back from push to talk to just normal.
It's all good. So pretty quick seed. Other than that start, that was a little uncertain, and the fact that you walked into 3 and saw the hard fairy block not having fairy there.
Yeah, the beginning was, that was awful. And really, that was the only super awful thing, I think. I mean, I'm honestly, the GP could have been awful, and I have no idea if it was.
Yeah, we're
But
maybe about to find out on Paratroopa's side because she's at Thunderbird, so we'll see if she goes a different way or not.
okay. Because it
But
looked
yeah, no.
pretty bad to me. Oh, sorry.
That was one of the big differences in this race is that you took that grind off of the red iron knuckle in P3 on the statue there, and Para spent a lot of time trying to get through the cave there and taking a bunch of overworld grinds that was significantly slower.
Oh, okay.
And so you got boots a good solid 5 to 10 minutes earlier because you just went straight to attack 4 and 4-2-3, I think it was.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm pretty bad at the red X guys, so I kind of need like the high attack and high life, or higher life at least. So when I saw they were 150, I'm like, okay, yeah, we can just sit here for a little bit and just make it easier to do those things. It was still giving me some trouble because, again, I'm not super good at that kind of stuff, but
Yeah,
I'm glad I did that. Yeah.
Yeah, the issues were the fact, not necessarily that they were there, but where they were located and who they were with. So, several of them were in those caves that had the lower ceiling, so you couldn't jump over the axes. And then the other one was tied up with Guerilla, which just always a terrible combo.
Which enemy is that? Because I'm actually not familiar with the names.
The Guerilla is the ones with the boomerangs.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Oh no, Paratroopa has decided to take the right at the bottom of the elevator. So we will find out a lot more about this GP.
Yeah, we're seeing new territory now. That it was really nice. I mean, for what the start was and the requirement of getting through those red Dairas with the axes early on and all that kind of nonsense. I mean, the candle obviously helps there, but what was also really nice is the fact that there was that palace you could just back out of. Like, I think we saw you once, maybe twice, when you took 2 deaths in the attempt to get through. Then you're like, all right, I'm actually going to back out and up and over here. It's kind of like a really nice reset point. Thankfully, that was there. Otherwise, it would have been back to North Palace every single time, and that would have been walking to the cave, take deaths, and there wouldn't have been a place to grind as nicely either. So it was kind of nice that was there.
Yeah, I don't know what I would have done if P3 wasn't there. To be honest, if it was just nothing. I might have been there for like 20 minutes because I don't know what would have happened with that. So that's why I personally like that dungeon, so I'm glad it was. I'm glad it helped me on this city because I don't know how long I would have been there if it wasn't specifically.
Yeah, what we saw early on as well is Para picked up a key. There were keys in the drop hole. She was the first, I think, to find a key when trying to push through that fairy cave. Then, with the key, went back into 3 and showed us the fairy lava room block. And so we knew way in advance, and so did Para, that room was in there, and you didn't step any further in. And so it was a huge surprise to you when you walked in there without fairy. I have a feeling I know how you felt about that, but how did you feel about that?
Um, I'm not sure because
Anger,
no.
annoyance.
Well, I did have the child at that point, so I'm like, okay, yeah, I just have. It was a little bit annoying, I would say, because I had to because Dooney was such a terrible location on this seed.
Yeah.
Like, but as long as I know, like, where something is, like I knew where Dooney was, I knew where the child was. Like, as long as I know where it is, I'm okay with if it's in an annoying spot. But like, if I have to find out that it's here or there, like, yeah, then that's worse. I feel like for the most part, for me at least. But P3, yeah, it was a little bit surprised. Actually, I honestly thought I was going to need it for GP. So there, even if P3 wasn't fairy blocked, there was still a possibility I still needed fairy for GP, and I think that would have been worse off if I was told after P3 that I still needed this.
Yeah, so far into the seed and then realizing, okay, well, we're fairy blocked now. I definitely have to go leave and go do this thing. Luckily, though, even if that were the case, GP's right there on the west. So it's just a quick up and A back to getting there. We did see, again, from your perspective, you hit Death Mountain. Then you saw Hammer Cave, did not step into it other than just getting the location on it. And then you saw the bridge along with the raft tile just sitting right next to each other. You took the bridge, went east. Now, when Para hit Death Mountain, there's a cave just a few steps left of, I think, where you come in to Death Mountain that takes you to Maze Island. And Para found that right away. So Para had the child just by accident before she found Darunia. And that helped save a little bit of time. However, Para did get a little lost on the east and seemingly took a little bit of extra time to find Death Valley, and that really allowed you to not have any sort of time penalty at all by missing Fairy. Plus, if you watch this back, I'm gonna just apologize again that for some reason I completely forgot that Para had to place up many more gems, and so you were a good amount ahead for a while anyway, doing 1 and then 4 and then Death Valley, whereas Para went all the way through the east, turned in Fairy, then backtracked to 4, then backtracked to 1, then got a little lost looking for Death Valley, and then finally did 6, and that was that. But then still to come back to the west, do 5, do 3, and do Maze Islands 2. So there was still a good bit for her to do. I was excited for a moment. I thought we were a lot closer when we were doing commentary. And then Jay Coper points out in chat, be like, am I missing something? Or does Para not have to place a bunch of gems? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm kind of dumb. So yeah, you had a commanding lead from clearing the palaces on the east as you push through the east. And the redig, sorry, this is a long-winded statement, but redigging the east to go turn in Darunia Ferry wasn't as costly as you might have thought it was in real time.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, the reason why I cleared east the way I did was because by the time I had found the east way, I was like, Fairy might just be on the way, and I could just simply go straight. Just start clearing dungeons on the way, pick up the raft, and then get my way to Maze Island from that point. And so, what I was hoping for is to clear all the east in one shot, and just never step back on the east again. Because it felt like it was going to be a fast seed, like a 60-minute seed. So, like, kind of have to rush stuff, like, in the seed. So, that's why, like, if I didn't do like the Hammer Cave and those things, like it was because I was trying to rush getting to dungeons quicker on this because I was practically in go mode by the time I found East Side.
Yeah, absolutely. Joined by Para now, GG Para.
Hi, GG.
GG's.
We got Tudor's opinion on the beginning of the seed. How did the beginning of the seed? We saw how it looked like it was treating you, but fill us in on from your perspective on how that start felt.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I couldn't decide whether to commit to grinding out like another life level, which I died at a really inopportune time on and lost like 300 experience. And then I was like, I guess I'll just try to go through it and see if I can get it. I finally did, and I lost the race by then, I guess. Pretty much.
I would say no. I think what possibly cost you a little bit was maybe
I really lost.
the east. Navigating the east probably cost you a little bit more time than it should have there. But you weren't that far behind Tudor, and the fact that you saw Maze Island first to get the child just by sheer luck before it ended up being required out of Darunia, because we were explaining to Tudor just a moment ago that you got a key out of one of the drops. You went back to that palace, what was known then as Palace 3, saw the fairy block. You saw that fairy blocked room, so you knew, you're like, I need fairy at this point. Tudor did not have that information. Tudor did end up walking into that P3 without fairy, having to back out of there and go all the way back to Darunia to turn in the child for fairy. So there was a bit of time spent on his side, but I think your overall navigation was of the east was there was a little bit of back and forthing in some of those areas, in that it wasn't a very nice east the way it was laid out. But yeah, Tudor cleared that as he came through there. He cleared out 1, then 4, then went back for Death Valley, whereas you passed up 1, passed up 4, got fairy, then backed up, and then you had to kind of find Death Valley from there. And there were several minutes there that you probably spent that could have been saved if you just had those locations earlier.
Yeah, I couldn't find Death Valley, and that was a really huge problem. I just didn't know where the entrance was. I also lost a lot of time looking for Great Palace on the west and the other cave that led to something. I think it was it the Power Glove? I don't know. Anyway, there was one core cave I couldn't find as well as Great Palace, and that I lost a lot of time looking for that. I also lost a lot of time in Death Mountain banking on the. I thought I'd be able to find Hammer Cave, and I just didn't. I chose a bad time to go back for Downstab, I think. That wasted some time.
Eating the Downstab was a good call in general.
I think I lost time on it.
Maybe. But
yeah, I just
made up time for it in combat, probably, so.
I had Fire Thunder, so it didn't really matter. Like, I think I could have just gone into 1, 4, and 6 on the east and done those right away instead of going back for Downstab. I just don't like not having it. But, I don't know. Really, the biggest problem is just losing a lot of time getting lost in the overworld, I think.
Yeah, that and the grind that CS2 did at the beginning was significantly faster.
I like I said, I thought I lost a lot of time there.
Yeah, the CS2 used the statue in P3.
I couldn't.
Iron Knuckles, and they were 150 experience points each.
Oh, I see. I got 3 red jars in a row and second guessed one of that. They even spawned there, so I stopped trying.
Yeah, the 3 of 6 is guaranteed to be supposedly 50-50.
Oh, great. Cool. That's nice. Cool. That seed sucks.
I have the same luck as you do. I always get like 3 or 4 red jars and then finally get one. It can be slow, but it is worthwhile when there are 150 or 200 experience points.
Yeah. Well, crap.
Y'all just need some better dice.
Yep. Those dice go to the dice jail.
Sorry, I need better dice as well, so don't feel bad. I get a lot of red jars. I think Tudor, I think you got a lot of red iron knuckles out of those. Most of them, I think more often than not, you got the red iron knuckle as opposed to the jar.
Yeah. A lot more than normal, which I'm surprised by, because usually it's like 5 red jars in a row, or 6 or 8. I've had some times where it was just nothing but red jars. I'm like, okay, this is going to take a long time to just get one of these guys.
Yeah, but for sure an interesting seed. Again, kind of tested the beginning, made you, as we were saying in commentary and in chat and whatnot, made the runners earn the boots today for their islands opening up with that item. And sure enough, and then everyone else off to the races from there. Pretty straightforward east. All things were kind of right there. Nothing was too trolly, I'd say. Just kind of Death Valley, just kind of up in one of those sections there. You kind of just walk up and see the lava, but nothing was segmented like it could have been. And we were wondering if when you landed on the east from the bridge, you could walk west. And I was wondering if there would be something over there. Perry, you checked that there was nothing by that time. But yeah, we've seen plenty of seeds, even tournament races, be determined by someone checking along the border of a mountainous biome like that and actually finding something of worth. So not today, though. Not today, unfortunately. But Chad, any last questions for either of our runners, or any last thoughts?
I guess the only thing I could think of would be how you're feeling about next week's matchups, potential matchups, knowing that who may be in which buckets.
Well, my practice races were going a lot better than this one, so I'm pretty optimistic.
I don't know. Honestly, like the amount of skill everyone has nowadays is a lot higher than even last year, so probably not feeling that great. I wasn't really feeling that great about this one too. I'm like, this basically pretty much go 50-50 as far as I'm concerned. So it just comes down to whatever the seed is, really, most of the time, I think.
Fair enough. I will just say GG's to both of you.
Yep, GG.
And of course, this is all just for seeding purposes, moving into brackets. No one's getting kicked out after Swiss. So, just play the game, see how you do, get into brackets, and see how it goes from there. And good luck to everyone moving forward. And that's going to be it from me. I guess Tobias can take us out.
Absolutely. First of all, thanks again to everyone who made this restream possible. Thank you to our runners who graciously allowed this race to be restreamed. Thank you to Chatbird and Mirai, for providing expert commentary today, and thank you to Animus United for helping out with tracking today. Thank you all for watching, obviously. Join us back here on Zelda Speedruns at 7 p.m. UTC, 3 p.m. Eastern for the Windmaker Randomizer. So, slightly more modern game, Season 6 tournament. Lower bracket top 16 race. That'll be Lyric versus Blue Sean. And a big bunch more races and other stuff scheduled to this weekend on Zelda Speedruns. So I'm just gonna drop a link to the schedule into chat here, and you gotta check that out for yourselves, because it's like 20 races this weekend going on. In the meantime, though, I think we're going to the extreme opposite end of Zelda game modernness, and going to rate a runner doing a 100% speedrun of Tears of the Kingdom. So let's go say hi to Ababop. And in the meantime, again, thank you all for watching. See you back here on Zelda Speedruns soon. Bye, everyone!